Okay, welcome back to my new video. This video, we are going to be looking at GPT-4 Vision, okay, or GPT-4V. Okay, it's a vision API that allows you to analyze images, the content of images. Okay, so you can extract the content or what is in an image. So you can prompt the model and ask the model that, okay, tell me what is in this image, and GPT-4V will go out there and then extract the content for you. So that is what we are going to be looking at. So let's jump right into our IDE. I'm not going to be typing a lot. I'm going to be pasting the code and explain, because if we type, it's going to take too much. The video is going to be too much longer. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it GPT Vision, and then I'm going to call it YT. Okay. And as usual, I'm going to import some few libraries, which we are already familiar. And the next thing is to create a class. I'm just going to copy the class and then explain what is going on. Okay, so let me start with the name of the class. It's called GPT Assistant. And then we're going to say dev __ init. And then we'll pass in the API key, which is a string. The model, which is also going to be a string. And then the default model is GPT-4-Vision-preview. So this model is under preview. So possibly they're going to change the name soon in their next release. Now I'm going to set client is equal to OpenAI, and then pass in the API key. We can also check if the API key exists before we set it. I say if API key is none, we want to raise some, let's say, some value error. Please set API key. Okay. So that is that. And also, we can also set the model as well as set model is equal to model. Okay, that is all we need here. So our next function, I'm just going to copy that and paste that and then explain. Okay, so as you can see, this is the function. The name of the function is generate image given a description. Okay, so it takes an image URL, and we pass in the message as a list, and within the list we have some dictionaries, and one of the key is called role and content. So the role is a user, and then the content, it also a list. Okay, so it's a list. So you can pass in multiple image URLs, but at this point, we only have one image that we want to pass in. And under the content, we have another dictionary, which has type is what text, and then the other text is what the description of the image. Okay, or the prompt. Okay, what we want to ask about the image. Okay, so the text is what's in this image. Can you also extract the figures in the image and put it in a JSON format. It's a question, okay? And the type here is image URL. And then the image URL, we pass in the image URL from the function, generate image description function. And once we are done with that, we use the create chart.completion.create, and then we pass in our model messages and then the maximal token that we are looking at. And then from there, we can extract the content of whatever we extract from that image. So the next thing we are going to look at is outside the class, I'm going to define a main function, which is API key is equal to os.get env, and then we pass in the API key. And assistant is equal to GPT assistant, and then we pass in the API key. Okay. That is that. And then our image URL is one image that I have stored on S3 bucket. So we are going to use that. Okay. I'm just going to paste the URL here. And you can see this is just an S3 URL. And this file name is on the S3 bucket. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do here is to pass that URL to our function. Okay. So result, we call this result content is equal to assistant.generate image. And then we pass in the image URL is equal to image URL. From here, we can just print result content. Okay. Once we are done, we call our main function. Okay. So basically that is that. Yeah, so I think that is all. So let's run this and see what the results will be like. Okay. I'm going to leave this code in the GitHub repo. You can clone it and then play with it. It's very straightforward. So I'm going to click on this. Then we wait for the results. It's going to take some few seconds. Okay, there we go. It's done. You see that it said the image shows a document titled Presidential Election Results Summary Sheet from an election. And then it is a form that appears to be filled by hand and contains various sections, including information on the name of the constituency, region, a list of candidates, along with votes obtained in figures and words, corresponding agent names. There's also a declaration section with signatures of the returning officers, blah, 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 and so on. And it says here is the information extracted into JSON format for the candidate names and their respective votes in figures. Okay, so you can see that this is a JSON, then the results, you can see this is the candidate name, and then the votes that it obtained, the next candidates. And yeah, so these are all the candidates, but this part is truncated because of the number of tokens. So if we open this file, this is how it looks like. This is how the file this is how the file looks like. So it was able to extract this information from the image. Okay, so you can use this to extract information from images, which is very, very useful. You can see this is how the document looks like. And the only thing is that the accuracy, okay? So the accuracy is not too good. You see here, it was able to get a 27, which is for candidate number 4, okay, which is 27. But let's look at the others. Instead of 224, it predicted 214. Okay, because this is a handwritten digit. Okay. Okay, so instead of 21068, the actual figure is 21463. Okay, so the predictions is off a little bit, but it was able to extract what we're looking for. So which is very interesting. So in order not to make the video very long, I'll leave it here, and then I'll push the code to GitHub, and you can have access to it and play with it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.